How could you possibly love white people so much?
It's easy. Have you ever looked at them? White man just a joy to be around. They smell like lemon juice and pledge furniture cleaner. And look at them. They gave us discipline, jobs, put structure in our lives, took us out the jungle. What's going on here? What's going on over there? Oh, it's just two niggas killing each other. Proceed. Don't trust them new niggas over there, leaving they nigga essence in the air. Them happy, nappy niggas with the fingers on the trigger. Don't trust them new niggas over there. Save me, wasn't nothing wrong with slavery. At least we got good food back then. White man sure could be yo. Hear ye. White God is a good God. Even darkies can rejoice. But even one's cased with the skin of coal can enter the gates of paradise if he hates his own blackness. In white Jesus' name, amen. Yet another reminder that no matter how much money you got, you still just a nigga.
Peace, family. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I hope that y'all having a nice weekend. Blessings to everybody and their family. This episode today, I wanted to talk about Charles Barkley. And that was the perfect intro for this Negro right here. Real talk. So he would happen to be on CNN, and he was speaking about Kyrie Irving and Dave Chappelle. And me personally, he's just a Sambo at the end of the day. You can't say the C word on here, but we all know the raccoons, you know what I'm saying? But you know, Charles Barkley, he's also another person. I feel like he just goes like Stephen A. Smith. They just go overboard with the ass kissing of white people. Let's keep it a buck. They just ass kiss the hell out of white people, and you do it purposely to undermine the whole community. Now, what Charles Barkley said, I don't like, because he tried to generalize our whole community, which I feel like is disrespectful to us all in the whole. So let me share my screen real quick, and let's get to it real fast, family.
A basketball legend, NBA analyst, Mr. Charles Barkley. Good morning to you, sir. I really appreciate you joining us.
Of course, Don. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Why so outspoken, especially when it comes to this issue? You know, even as someone you're covering sports, but you're speaking out about issues that have to do with culture and society. Why so outspoken about this?
Well, Don, I don't like that word outspoken, because I hope anybody who sees racism in any form whatsoever should stand up, whether it's against a black person, a Hispanic person, a Jewish person, Asian. Asian hate's going a big deal in this country right now. So anybody should try to do the right thing. If you see something wrong when it comes to race or homophobic or sexist, you should always say something. So, I'm always going to do that. I don't care about the repercussions. If I see something wrong happening, Don, I'm going to say something.
How do you think the league should deal with it? Because
Now, family, I'm going to read something real quick from Dr. Claude Anderson on racism, because a lot of people tend to get racism twisted, and they use this word and they use it out of context. So according to Dr. Claude Anderson's version of racism, racism is a competitive relationship between groups of people who are competing for the ownership of resources, control of wealth, and power. Then, right? He also says, let me get this together, fam. True racism exists only when one group has a disproportionate share of wealth and power over another group, then uses those resources to marginalize, exploit, exclude, and subordinate the weaker group. So when he says that he doesn't like anybody, no matter whether it's black people, white people, Asian people, like, bro, according to this, we cannot be racist because we don't own any disproportionate amount of wealth, power, or resources. to be racist to any group. Now, when you talk about calling people names and things like that, that's spewing racial epithets, and that's bigotry. Do you feel what I'm saying? So that's not racism, and we get that confused when speaking on racism, and we try to say, oh, well, that's reverse racism. Reverse racism doesn't exist unless somebody else holds the same amount of power and resources that you can do, and that you could do it to other people. So again, racism is like going to the bank and getting denied a loan based off your color. You feel what I'm saying? Us not running the prison industrial complex and only committing less than 25% of the crimes, but we are more than about 50% of the prison population. That's racism. Not you're an N-word, or you're a cracker, or you get what I'm saying? That's not racism, family. So let me finish playing it.
Listen, he's still on suspension, but how do you think the league should deal with it? The reason I ask is because, everyone is speaking out about it. Kyrie Irving is facing, what he's facing, but the league let him go for a long time. They sort of are forcing him to apologize, but what if these are his real beliefs? Should they be dealing with that as well? Maybe they have someone who actually believes these things. I'm not saying it's right. Instead of forcing him to apologize, maybe they should be dealing with that part of it.
Actually, that's a great question, Don. People have the right to feel and say what they want to. We have freedom of speech, but there are repercussions when you say certain things. Listen, I don't know Kyrie Irving. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I think he's been suspended, rightfully so, and I think he should come back and play in the NBA. But, that's a really slippery slope, because, people always talk about freedom of speech, freedom of effect, or you say whatever you want to, but there are repercussions. I mean, and he's paying for that right now, but this thing with free speech has really gotten out of hand, Don. I mean, you just can't go around insulting people and think it's okay just because it's freedom of speech.
Well, people say, well, listen, if I don't get to say what I say, it's cancel culture. And I don't know if you probably do not agree with that.
I don't like use the term cancel culture, because I don't want anybody counsel, but you should be called to the carpet if you said something wrong. No, I don't believe somebody should lose their job or things like that, but you should be called out if you said something stupid. Hey, I've been called out many times, and I have no problem with that. But I hate the term cancel culture, because very few people are canceled. Let's be honest and realistic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can I ask something real quick that I didn't think? Did you? Maybe you didn't see it, so you might not be able to answer. Did you see SNL? Did you see Dave Chappelle, his monologue?
I did not,
Yeah.
but listen. Let me just say this: I'm a Dave Chappelle fan. I have a really strict line on racism, sexism, homophobic, things like that. It's just wrong. It's nothing to joke about. It's a very serious subject.
Yes.
Don, it's crazy. I'm almost 60 years old.
See, it's funny how he will say that homophobia, sexism, and all that stuff is nothing to joke about. But it's cool to joke about niggas. It's cool to joke about black people. It's cool to joke about white people. But it ain't cool. Like, come on, dog. Come on, bro. That don't even make any sense.
And I grew up in Alabama, and obviously I know about Montgomery, Selma, Birmingham, things like that. To still be having racial conversations 60 years later, and we're debating whether people have the right to say it and joke about it, is really, it just makes me sad.
Yeah.
It makes me mad, but it really just makes me sad that 60 years later we're still having racial conversations 60 years later.
And almost more than a decade ago, I do have to say.
You know why? Because the same people that you grew up with 60 years ago that were white, the same type of people was preaching racism and teaching racism to their children, right? So again, racism isn't just calling people the N-word. They always held, this is another reason we need reparations, they always held a disproportionate amount of the resources. They own 99% of the damn resources, family. That's what slavery did. It maldistributed all the resources into the hands of the dominant white society. So again, his definition of racism and how he's bringing it up, like, yeah, we have to talk about racism because it's still happening. You still haven't fixed what slavery did. So that's the whole point, that people can be racist. And again, the people that they talking about that Kyrie was speaking on, you know, the Jewish community, they got they reparations, right? This is the reason why now they own and control a lot of stuff, right? They actually own and control a lot of stuff even before that, but even more now. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, Charles Barkley just be saying stuff to say stuff. And again, if it comes down to joking about black people or joking about black people, how racism affects black people, that's cool. That's not over the line. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, if you talk about somebody gay, you talk about somebody trans, now all of a sudden that's not a jokeable matter. You feel me? Even joking about white people is cool. But see, then you start joking about the Jewish community, you start joking about, you know, trans people, now all of a sudden it's some type of issue. But here we go.
And then I'll let you guys jump in here because I don't want to hog the conversation. One of the first people to contact me after I came out was this man right here. And that was over a decade ago. So these issues are really important to you, and you always stand up for people's individual rights.
Barkley gay himself.
Well, you know, Don, first of all, one thing that always has disturbed me as a black person, which really bothers me about the Kyrie Irving situation and the Kanye West situation. First of all, being black in America is already hard enough. And for us to go at other ethnic groups just makes things worse.
Why is it hard enough? Why is being black in America hard enough already? Because of racism, you retard. You see what I'm saying? Niggas don't be even making any sense. Now explain to it why it's hard. And who's making it hard, nigga? Who's making it hard on black people in America? You answering your own question.
Because it's hard enough being black. And one thing has always disappointed me, black people treat gay people, we are the worst when it comes to treating gay people. And that's one thing growing up, it really always bothers me. And I want to reach out to you and all my gay friends, all my transgender friends, and tell you, man, I got nothing but love and respect for you. I want you to be you. And I wanted you to know that.
That's not true at all, family. Now, when we go to the statistics of hate crimes, right? First of all, black people have the most hate crimes perpetrated against them than any other race, right? Than any other race, even when it comes to gay and all that other stuff. Now, the people who are committing, who are actually the you know, the what you call that, the victimizers, right? The ones who are doing all of this stuff, majority, over 50% of the hate crimes that's committed are by white people. That's all I'm gonna say.
That day, because I understand being black, what it's like being gay, because you get mistreated, and it's really unfortunate and sad and stupid, to be honest with you.
Charles, you mentioned your home state of Alabama. We both share that.
Thank you for that, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a lovely. I'm glad you pointed that out. Obviously, you're an Auburn fan. I'm an Alabama fan, so we disagree there. But you live in Arizona now, and I wonder what you make of the election results that we've been talking about this morning and what happened in the state that you live in now.
Sambo, it doesn't even make any sense. Hold on, I gotta unpause it.
Well, Caleb, number one, I don't want to talk about Auburn right now. That's a very touchy subject right now, but I appreciate that.
I don't want to talk about Alabama, so that's fine.
Well, let's talk about LSU, but sorry, go on. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. You know, it's been very interesting watching the results. You know, it's been frustrating. So Carrie Lake, I don't know Carrie Lake that well, but I've met her quite a few times. She's always been cordial, friendly, just a great lady. What has happened to her the last few years has been very frustrating and disappointing to me, because all these election deniers, are they only saying elections legit if they win?
Yes.
That's the thing that's frustrating for me. Like, a Republican's gonna say, unless we win, if the election was stolen, is that the motto we're gonna have for the rest of history? If they don't win an election that was stolen? And that was the thing that bothered me the most about watching Carrie. Like I say, she's always been great to me. She was always a nice lady, but what I've seen the last few years is just really disappointing because this thing that unless Republicans, and let's say, hey, I'm an independent. I vote for whoever the hell I want to vote for. I'm an independent. But this notion that unless Republicans win the election, it's stolen, we can't go on like that. That's just really sad.
Yeah,
Did
what
you
do
know
you
Oz?
think?
Did you know Dr. Oz?
I know who he is, and I was watching that because I got to tell you how crazy my life is. I work in Atlanta, so between the ads on Warnock and Herschel, I live in Philadelphia during the summer between Dr. Az, I call him, and Mr. Fetterman, and then I live in Arizona. So all the 3 states that I live in and work in, I have been bombarded with silliness. I'm so glad. Well, unfortunately, we still got the runoff down here in Georgia. But I lived in the 3 craziest states whatsoever. It's been crazy for the last 6 months, and I'm so glad it's over.
Not over in Georgia, by the way. You said a few years ago to our colleague and friend David Axelrod that you were disgusted with politics and the political process. That was 2018. Yeah. And I just wonder how you get, that's right. Thanks to whoever gave you the towel. That was very kind. Yeah. But how do you feel about it now? Because I'm just interested in your politics. I mean, I remember you were saying in 2016 that you would maybe vote for John Kasich. So what do you think of politics now?
Well, John Kasich is actually the only Republican I've ever voted for, Poppy.
Yeah.
But I am disgusted with our politics. You got to vote one way or the other. You got to have the House of majority and all this stuff. Listen, man, these are actually real people out here. There's nobody who disagrees on every subject. These people are elected to try to make things better. The notion that you got to have every Republican vote, every Democratic vote is a flat out joke. Listen, I can walk up to somebody who's a Democrat or independent, whatever. We don't disagree on every subject. Mm-hmm. And these politicians, they have ruined our country. They have ruined our country. This is the greatest place in the world. And the notion that we have to vote one way or the other on every subject I just feel sad for it. Because let's be realistic. It's not going to have any effect upon my life. I'm not going to get on my soapbox saying whoever the president, who's a senator, has zero effect upon my life. But I feel bad for everyday people because these people, because of the pandemic, inflation, crime, these people need real help out there. And our politicians aren't helping at all.
Well, you've been a big ally of the LGBTQ plus community for a long time. We were talking about it earlier, things that politicians can do to protect people and to help people. Look at, like, the Senate this week is going to take up codifying same-sex marriage. The fact they feel like they have to do this after the Supreme Court decision in Dobbs. But your thoughts on that, because that means a lot to a lot of folks.
Well, I think a couple of things. Number one, gay marriage should be legal. If people want to get married, that's their own business. And listen, this debate, I don't get into debate whether somebody chooses to be gay. Listen, I don't think anybody.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna get up out of this for a second, man. If gay marriage is legal, man, why y'all can't legalize polygamy? I always said that. What's truly wrong? I'm sorry, family. I was reading off the shirt. Always remember that, man. Dr. Claude Anderson, man. But what's wrong with polygamy? I've never gotten that. They always talking about gay people can get married and all of that. Why is polygamy illegal? Why is polygamy illegal, family? Why can you go to jail if you want to marry more than one person? And don't give me no what's that, the people in in Utah and all that other stuff. We don't want to hear about that because everybody not going to move like that. Same way every monogamous relationship ain't the same and every gay relationship ain't the same. Every polygamous relationship not going to be the same. But I'm going to tell you why, real talk, that they like to legalize gay marriage, but they won't legalize polygamy. This is why they won't legalize polygamy. And you'll go to jail if you do it. Because in polygamy, it's economically beneficial. and you are more likely, right? I'm gonna just say this: Black people are more likely to have, you know, I ain't gonna say we more likely to have, but we have a better chance at having more women than probably anybody else. We are at the bottom of the totem pole, and polygamy would actually get you out of poverty at the end of the day. Let's be real. Let's be real. I'm not saying polygamy's for everybody, and I'm just saying if you can cut your wiener off and you know and tuck it and be a trans woman, right? And you can be gay, right? And go get married at the courthouse. Why can't, if I want to have 3 girlfriends or a female wants to have 3 husbands, why can't they do that? Why will that send you to jail? Like to jail. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, because watch this. If you had I'm going to use both examples. If you had a female that worked at McDonald's and she got with 3 niggas that worked at McDonald's and they all got together, because I don't want to just say it on the dude then, because women get offended. Why can't the women have 3? Nigga, you can do whatever you want. You feel me? You do whatever you want. Shit, ain't nobody stopping you. Find 3 beta niggas that wanna rock with you. You feel me? On that type of time and do it. But again, my example, if you had a female that worked at McDonald's and 3 dudes who worked at McDonald's and they all got together and they started putting their resources together. They all staying in the same house, and let's say the rent is $1,200 or $1,300, $1,500, whatever. And you got 4 people paying these bills and putting it. You know how long it's going to take for y'all to get out the projects? It's not going to take long. It's not going to take long for y'all to become homeowners. Yes, because that's group economics. Whether you want to be on like I'm trying to tell you, this is why this shit is illegal, family. I don't want to delve into that too much because that's going to offend people, even though it say it in the Bible that Jesus allowed to have all these wives and stuff. But somehow we can't do it now. But again, Charles Barkley, that was very offensive to be like, try to put that all on the Black community of, being homophobic or whatever. First of all, nobody's scared of no gay people like that, dog. Come on, let's be for real, right? Like myself personally, I don't feel comfortable because based off what I went through as a child, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel comfortable around gay people. I don't hate them. I did when I was smaller, right? When I was young and, I got molested by 2 gay people, right? That's different. That's different. 2 grown men with kids and all that shit. That's what I'm saying. As a child, as a kid going through that, yes, I was like, man, because even though they was messing with women, right? They still was gay. So at the end of the day, I didn't like gay people at the age of, 14, 13 and, like that. You know what I'm saying? So it took a while for me to be like, yo, just that, and that's just based off my experience. But people who haven't been through that wasn't just running around like, yo, F him, he gay, F him. Like Black people don't move like that. You feel me? And again, like now that I got older, gay people cool. You feel me? Again, I still don't feel comfortable around them because I don't want to be hit on, right? And let's be for real, it'd be some slick jabs people be throwing when they like. So, but again, that's just me personally. I'm one of 60-something million people, so you're not going to put it on the whole community. And again, I'm not saying that I hate gay people or anything like that. Again, I just don't feel comfortable around them based off what I went through, right? But again, as the whole community and you trying to put that on all of us, dog, that's some sucker shit. And it's so funny because now watch this. When it comes down to like white people, I've seen white people be off that type of time when I was in Oregon. You feel me? But you're not gonna say their whole community is just like, you're not gonna put that on their whole community now. Come on, dog. That's crazy as hell, man. Charles Barkley, him, Shaq, LeBron, Stephen A. Smith, a lot of these dudes for that NBA, so they have to be coons, dog. They have to go with what the dominant white society is talking about. You have to agree with everything they do. You feel what I'm saying? So again, like that whole situation to me is just like, I can't deal. That's why I don't watch sports, because of people like him, because he's the commentator. Shaq is the commentator. Then you gotta, if you didn't miss the game and you trying to check all the stuff out on ESPN, you gotta listen to Stephen A. Smith ass all the time, just coon it up all morning. Like, come on, bro. That should just be too much, man. It's too much for me. And you sit there. That's why I like, and a lot of players actually hate that nigga, bro. They hate Stephen A. Smith on some real. Like, but again, they in a thing where you can't do nothing. This is like the Uncle Tom, not the Uncle Tom, sorry, the Sambo of the NBA, and he has a lot of stain. You get what I'm saying? So again, especially because some of them players be wanting to get these little jobs after they finish the league and they want to commentate and all of that. And you gotta like suck up to this nigga. You feel what I'm saying? And again, this is why we gotta support people who start their own leagues, like Javar Ball. He started his own sneaker. Niggas ain't wanna support that shit. He started his own basketball league. Ain't nobody really starting it. Supporting it. The Big Three with Ice Cube starting their own league. We have to start supporting our people when they do go outside of these entities and these corporations. You feel what I'm saying? Because other than that, we're gonna fall, and then we gotta be subject to these type of dudes. You feel what I'm saying? Because when you get your own situation popping, you can use your own people as, the person who get on the mic and, you know what I'm saying, and don't gotta coon it up. You feel what I mean? I ain't saying the person gotta be just all outright black power, and all that type of shit, but you can pick your person that just ain't gonna coon it up either, dog. You feel what I'm saying? So again, man, family, we definitely gotta change the dynamics. I wanted to get into something else real quick. So I actually spoke about this, the Rhode Island thing, but I never showed this particular part. And I wanted to get into the criteria, the people that's actually eligible, right? Now, I seen on the thing that it said African Americans, but it says the commission adopted 4 eligibility categories for recommended reparation investments that will most accurately reflect the city of Providence's unique history and response to the residents in the present day with the most measurable need. So indigenous people who are part of the social and cultural groups that are collective ancestral ties before the European settlement of Providence, Rhode Island, including the natural resources where they lived, inhabited, or from which they have been displaced. So that might have some red natives in it, and that might have some black natives in it, right? But it's definitely not talking about white people or immigrants. Now we get to the main one. Because again, when they say, in this first one with indigenous people, and it says a social or cultural groups that share collective ancestry ties before European settlement, which means before, the white supremacists came over and colonized North America. So that would include, the black indigenous people of this land or the red indigenous people of this land. But African heritage people, this is where it gets spooky, family. An ethnic group consisting of people with ancestry originating from sub-Saharan Africa. Today, the city's African heritage residents include, but are not limited to, African American, African, biracial, Afro-Latino, Cape Verdean, and Afro-Caribbean. Now we get into the tethers or the immigrants. I ain't gonna say they all tethers. Let me take that back. I ain't gonna say they all tethers, but this is when we get into the immigrants, right? Afro-Latino. So now we're going to get these white Latinos who don't even identify as Afro-Latino, they identify as white on the census, will be able to get these reparations that's meant for, slavery, right? So again, now you got Africans who just came over here who practice anti-FBA freedmen hate. They'll be able to, benefit off this as well. Now the next people are the qualified census tracts and neighbors. So under the final U.S. Treasury ARPA rule, recipients of funding were allowed to presume that families residing in qualified census tracts, QCT, or receiving services provided by tribal governments were disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. Provides QCTs eligible for these programs include Upper and Lower South Providence, Washington Park, Mount Hope, Alonaville, I don't know what that is, Lippet Hill, Fox Point, Hartford, Elmwood, Smith Hill, I can't pronounce that, Wanscuck, and Mainton. Now, I'm going to say that this now includes white people. We're allowed to presume that families residing in qualified census tracts. So the census tracts, family. I'm sorry. It won't blow up anymore. But these are the census tracts. So again, you're going to find white people in all these areas that fall below the poverty line and was disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. Because anybody poor was disproportionately impacted by the pandemic, right? Because it stopped people from going to work. But again, this is for reparations. So now you're going to qualify in neighborhoods, not lineage. You're qualifying neighborhoods, and that is going to allow white people, these Afro-Latinos, Africans, Cape Verdean, and Afro-Caribbeans to now get a hold of resources that was meant for the people who actually built this country. So again, now the next one is residents facing poverty. Provident residents, households earning less than 50% of the area median income that are very low income. Preference given to residents, households earnings less than 30% of AMI who are extremely low income households. Individuals are eligible for programs including residents who were born in the city of Providence, non-college students who lived in Providence for a minimum of 3 years, or people who moved to Providence to attend college or universities 3 years from the last date of enrollment. So again, residents facing poverty, that's going to be white people as well. Again, somebody tried to argue with me on Twitter after I posted, the budget from the program thing. They was like, nah, we talked to, matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all. They said we talked to the people. Hold on, I'm gonna get it. Hold on 1 second, family. So I'll get it right here. He said, did you read the full budget proposal? And there's a link to it in the article. It says full budget proposal can be found here. But see, he said, we read through that entire report. It includes cash payments and is lineage based. That's because on this one right here, family, I actually posted the whole budget. So now son tries to come in there and say, we read through the entire report. It includes direct cash payments. No, it don't. And it is lineage based. We even discussed it with the people who made it. So, I had to show some receipts. Gave the nigga the link. Then I had to drop that same picture, right? I said I never. Oh, he said something about somebody said something. That was somebody else. So again, I sent them that same stuff I just read y'all. Nigga, that shit ain't lineage based. He never answered. Again, because he's probably some type of troll, the blood pack, probably some type of troll. You didn't discuss this with nobody who made it, fam. Knock it off. Knock it off. Niggas out here lying. That's what I say. That's the one thing about social media, boy. You always gonna get some trolls and people just making up shit just to make up shit. Now, family, I just showed y'all. That was the proposal from, and that's another thing that I said. Watch this. Like, nigga, hold on. Working out for our report. And I said to the dude, hold on. I said, nigga, this off the government website, nigga. Providence, Rhode Island. Providence, RI, which is Rhode Island.gov. Like, nigga, what is you talking about? You ain't about to, nigga, I got all this off the government website. You ain't about to hit me with none of that. All that came off the government website, and then hitting with the what's the name? You feel me? Then I hitting with the link. Nigga talking about, nigga, that ain't, we went over the proposal. No, you didn't. Stop lying. Stop lying, fam. But again, family, I just wanted to, come on here to break down that whole Charles Barkley thing and him talking about this whole gay situation and, trying to blame the Black community as far as, being the worst people to hate gays and all this whole other stuff. Like, man, knock it off. Knock it off, dog. We are the most loving people on the planet, fam. We are the most forgiving people on the planet. Because if we were some of the most hateful people, why would we hate gays and not hate the white people as much? We hate gays more than we hate white people, dog. Like, come on, dog. You're not even making any sense. What have gay people done to Black people as a whole? Now talk about what white supremacy done to Black people as a whole. See what I'm saying? These dudes get on here and this is why, and again, mind y'all, dog, that was CNN. See, but again, they got all this funding, fam. This is why I say, and I'm not saying this to say fund me at the end of the day, but like, yo, I'm trying to tell you, we just have to support, whether you're going to support with subscribing, whether you're going to support with, getting this out there, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. But again, fam, we gotta support Black content creators who are unapologetic, who gonna say what they feel, say what's conducive to the Black community. You feel what I'm saying? You got a lot of bootlickers and coons out here that's just gonna say anything to satisfy the white power structure. You feel me? And a lot of these people, because anybody that's gonna talk like me or talk like anybody in the community that's unapologetic, they not going to be on CNN. Nigga not going to get invited on CNN to speak. You feel me? And when you do, they try to do all the weird stuff. They going to clip it out, clip certain stuff you say out. They going to, you know what I mean? Cut the break, cut you off. Start talking about something else the moment you start getting to the point in the meat and potatoes, so they don't got to dig into what you're actually saying. Excuse me. But yeah, so again, family, make sure y'all, man, hit that subscribe button, man. Make sure y'all hit that notification button. They be playing with my subscribers, dog. I be going up one day, then go down the next day, go up one day, then go down the next day. Family, man, please hit that subscribe button, man, so we can get to this style wow. You feel me? Get to this stack real quick. And make sure y'all hit that like button. And I know somebody told me in the comments, make sure y'all drop some stuff in the comments too and speak your mind, man. I love to hear and engage with the people, especially the ones that's talking sensible. You start talking crazy, I might not engage you too much. It all depends on how I feel. Sometimes I like going back and forth with people. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But especially when I'm at work and I ain't got shit to do, I definitely will go back and forth with your ass. But again, sometimes somebody had dropped something in the comments talking about, they don't notify you. And I know that that's true because my kids got a channel and they subscribe to my channel. And sometimes they don't really watch my stuff like that because they don't. If I ain't playing video games on there, they ain't even trying to watch. They be like, Dad, you don't even be talking about nothing. That's why you don't be getting no views like that. These niggas crazy. But yeah. So sometimes I'll go on their stuff and check, and like they won't even get a notification. And I got the bell on they joint. You feel me? So again, the person who dropped that comment in the comment section on my last video is right, and I believe you. I don't know what to do about it because you can say whatever to YouTube, and they gonna do what they gonna do what they want. You feel me? So again, man, I thank y'all, and I appreciate y'all for supporting me. I love y'all, family. Just stay tuned. I got some more heat for y'all. Make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And again, family, we gotta start building with each other, man. We gotta start building. I'm about to do another video. I should just talk about it right now, man, instead of just doing another video, because I gotta go somewhere in a little bit. Family, the people that we need to build in the community, right? Now I'm gonna do another video on this real quick. This is just some different content. I ain't going to go too far out there right now because I'm gonna wind up going. So family, thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all have a blessed day. Have a happy weekend. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all doing with your family, doing stuff with your family, and take care of them kitties, fam. We out of here.